The Mixed Mornings and More podcast with Steph and Sean.
Now available daily.
Good morning, world.
Good morning and happy Monday. It is September 11th. It's 5:31 right now, and I don't go downtown that way all too often. Maybe once a week, twice a week or so.
You're an over-the-bridge dweller, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm an uptown guy. Just an uptown boy. Living in an uptown.
Okay. We get it.
Yeah. The Hospital Street overpass construction.
Yes.
Dealt with that for the first time.
What do you think?
Got stuck in it for the first time.
Did you know it was coming and get into the correct lane, or were you one of those people that was like, oh no, halfway up?
No, I definitely knew about it. And then I got in the lane, and then I got up and I was turning left to go downtown. And then the light turned, and then I was the bad guy, just kind of stuck in the middle of the intersection. So I had to kind of mosey on my hatchback into kind of just a little cranny where I wasn't in the way of everything until finally all the cars got to go again.
Now, you pride yourself on being an expert driver. Yeah. You're a pretty aggressive driver. You always
aggressive,
like not aggressive as in road rage, aggressive as in you anticipate things that are going to happen and you work hard to mitigate any.
It's so smart, not aggressive.
Yeah, aggressive driving just means that you're not road raged. I'm gonna have to look this up. But anyway, How did you feel? How did your pride feel when you were suddenly stuck in the middle of an intersection? Because that's just not your jam.
I anticipated, because usually when you turn left at that and you start going towards the other light, they're very well timed, where the next one's going to turn green in about a couple seconds. Like, you rarely have to wait there, but this one sat red for a very long time. So they've switched up the light schedules as well up there, because I was used to that just turning really quickly. So it was embarrassing, and I'm never going to go around there until the construction's completed again.
It's me. Hi.
Never again.
Problem. Flashpoint memory for pretty much everyone who was alive back then. It has been 22 years since the attacks on the World Trade Center in 2001.
Yeah, 22 years seems yesterday. I know that's such a cliche to say, but this was my very first, I guess, news event of where I remember, like, exactly. So I was in Saskatchewan, and I'm pretty sure I was having cereal at the table before school. And then the telly was on and saw everything that happened. And then I called my best friend on the landline and just was like, "Are you watching the same thing I'm watching?"
Wow.
And then we went to school that morning, and then everyone was kind of just dealing with it as we went, type of thing.
It's hard to remember. I mean, I was 13. I was in grade 8 in Eastern Standard Time, so it happened at 10 a.m. And I remember one of my friend's sisters came and said, "There's an attack on the World Trade Center." And we didn't have any clue what that meant. I remember going home from school afterwards and seeing that all of my favorite shows were no longer on the TV, and just a ticker across the bottom, "America is under attack." So pretty crazy to think that was 22 years ago, and how the world has changed since then. And I think about that Alan Jackson song, the "Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning on That September Day?" I mean, we all will always remember it.
And I wonder how, like, people who weren't around, like, they're born, like 20-year-olds and everything, how they know of the event, or how they've read about it or watched TV about how they are learning to come to realize this is what happened and everything. I wonder how, just like that whole process of, like, teaching history and stuff, and where that all slots in as well. It's just such an interesting, I guess, time.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously at this time every year we always think about how many people lost their lives that day, first responders, everyone. And there is actually a ceremony for the fallen firefighters today.
That's right. It's going on today. Fire Hall 5, which is the one in Sapere Creek. The ceremony starts right around 10:30.
I often have this conversation with my husband about not having any hobbies.
Who doesn't?
Me.
Oh.
Like, apart from, like, going outdoors and stuff like that, but things that I do...
Apart from all the hobbies that I already am partaking in.
I mean, like, things that I can quietly do on my own. I basically just clean.
Okay.
And my husband has, like, a ton of things that he enjoys doing. And yesterday morning, he was out working on the truck and taking off fenders, put new fenders on and on and on. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take everything out of every cupboard and I'm going to scrub them all down, wash all the dishes and put them back in. And he was like, why?
Yeah, that's incredible.
Well, sometimes things just need a little bit of a deep clean, and there's a little
Sure.
bit of debris that might fall in the drawer, and you
Yeah.
can just really get at it if there's nothing else in the cupboard.
That's
and once
right.
they're out of the cupboard, well, they may as well be really deep clean themselves. And you know what he said to me?
What?
Can you just read a book or something?
Yeah, I agree with him. You do need a hobby. My goodness.
No, but I was enjoying it. Can I have cleaning as a hobby if I enjoy it? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. You should turn into a side hustle is what you should do.
Oh no.
Just cleaning for yourself?
Yeah, there's too much. There's too much of my house I need to clean, and you know, every once in a while empty out those drawers, and I could find a ton of shelves that could be emptied
my
out and
goodness.
re-cleaned. You know, I can't do that at someone
I don't
else's
know,
house.
but yes. It was, I'm going to say, one of the first full football weekends of the year, and it was absolutely fantastic, Steph.
You just lying sideways watching football all day.
Yeah, pretty much. Although I'm in a new place and it came furnished, and so I had to like kind of figure out like what my sitting situation is like, because Saturday's college football, it's all day, and Sunday's NFL, and it's all day. So you get like kind of like, here's my lie down pose, here's my I'm into the game pose, here's like just like casually watching, and you kind of figure out what parts of like the furniture you kind of get into the game with.
Okay, so how'd it go?
Yeah, and my new place is interesting, the place that's furnished, because there's no couch, there's no love seat. It's like kind of theater style lazy boys of what they have for watching television in the living room.
Oh,
And so it's the ones where they have the stay in place. There's two of them. There's two lazy boys side by side. It's all one unit, and in between the two, there's like a hard cup holder kind of armrest.
so it's kind of like you're at Landmark Cinemas, but the armrest doesn't go up. It's just always
Correct.
down in the middle.
Always down in the middle, and same with on the outsides too. But then the chairs themselves go back and forth, and then you can kind of lie down a little bit on those. And so during the college football, well, we had the barbecue, and so I wasn't like from 10 a.m. trying to watch football. I did the barbecue that we had in Timberley till about 2 o'clock or so. So I didn't have to do a full day of sitting in the couch, but still
Didn't have to do a full day of.
yeah, of like figuring out what works, but like so I could kind of just like casually like sit and watch for a couple hours here or there. But then the Sunday, yesterday, I noticed really that this might be a problem all year.
Okay, so this is my question. You know, when we watch sports here in the studio, you're like a jump up and kind of put your arms in the air. Let's go. You stand closer to the TV. You yell. Not very conducive though for a recliner. Is it one of those like automated ones that goes down really slowly? And it's like I want to
It's
jump
manual.
up, and it's like, oh,
You got a lever to pull and everything from the inside of the chair. And so yeah, it is, because like you're kind of like lean back, but then all of a sudden, if it's a game, then I maybe put the thing in and I sit on the edge of the seat. I don't know. I'm still working things out on how I'm going to be able to watch football, but it's a work in progress here. I
Oh,
much
man.
prefer a couch. I'll tell you that much.
I'd much prefer you found a different hobby. What do you think? Silence.
I don't
She's
even know what to
speechless.
say to that. I'm speechless.
There's a new trap at the grocery store I want you to be aware of.
Well, the one that I know of before is when they slap a sale sticker, but it's like 10 cents off.
Yes, that is a trap, but also is the Magnum ice cream bars.
Oh,
They're so delicious.
yeah.
But they're
That's the trap.
strategically only putting 3 ice creams in the box.
In a box?
3.
Actually, yeah, no, I've bought them before, but I guess I'm only buying for an individual, so I'm like, 3 for me. Don't
Yeah,
care.
you get to eat all 3.
Yeah.
But like most folks are looking for an even number in a box.
Yeah.
That's pretty strange. And my husband and I went to buy them on the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, should we buy 2 boxes?
Yeah, box each.
So that we can each have 3? And he was like, no, we're not falling for this. You can just have the second one. Come on now. I was like, well, I didn't want you to not have a second one, but I definitely
Yeah,
wanted a
think
second
of
one.
the reward afterwards of having a box for each other. That is amazing. And it's ice cream.
It is. And then you could actually like interchange. Like you could have
Yeah,
2
two
different
flavor-
flavors.
Wow.
I think this was a good idea, but I do think it's a trap. Like I do think they're very strategically only putting 3 in there.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, 2 couples get together, got to buy 2 boxes. Oh, that means you only have 6 now, so you better buy 12 so everybody can have 3. Yeah, it's just a never
Y'all
ending
done
math.
messed up. Y'all done messed up. Next time you got to get the 2 flavors, just like you said, and then it'll last a couple days.
Yeah, we're just going to fall for the Magnum trap.
Yeah. I can safely say that I am very fortunate for not having any mosquito bites all summer until this weekend.
Wow, what has been your mitigation plan? Are you just not showering or like...
What does not showering keep mosquitoes off of you?
Well, yeah, because they like the smell of like flowers and stuff. So if you have like a bath and go outside, they're like, oh, hello, sweet nectar.
No, well, my hygiene is at the top.
Your hygiene's intact, but somehow they just didn't like the smell of your body wash, is what you're saying?
I've been carrying pretty much a full bottle of spray with me.
Oh, that's your plan. Okay.
Every golf, pretty much the only time I'm really like, I haven't hit the trails too much this year, but I've been golfing a ton this year. And every time I've been on the golf course, I've just lathered up like wild with bug spray. But
there you go. And that is definitely something that bugs think smells bad.
There we go.
I mean, I think that bug spray has come a long way and I don't find the smell off-putting, but certainly mosquitoes are, that's the point of it.
Some reason it didn't work on Friday.
Really?
Yeah, I now have my first like 10 plus mosquito bites all over my legs and everything. And now I'm dealing with it.
Well, they must have got used to it. All summer long, you were like, this bug spray is great. And now they're like, we know that you, underneath that bug spray is delicious blood. We need to get through it.
Yeah, end of season, they're just doing whatever it takes to get the prize. And
so what are you doing to get over the itch? 10 bug bites on the legs.
I'm enjoying the like dopamine you get from scratching them because it feels so good.
The pure relief of scratching.
Oh, like doing a scratch? I feel like a dog over here.
Good thing you're hairy and you can cover up the scars that might exist afterwards. The streetlight in front of my house burnt out. And when it burnt out in mid-July, wasn't a big deal. We had like 3 hours of darkness.
The same one? This July?
Yeah, this past July.
And then it came back on?
No, it never came back on. It burnt out
okay, so that's the first time that burnt out.
Yeah, the one and only time.
They just take one of the old bulbs and plug it in? And
no, it's been burnt out for a while, but it's extra noticeable now that it's getting dark so earlier and light so late. Yeah. So back in July, I was like, who cares about this street light? And then when it was dark for those 3 hours, you could really see the stars and the northern lights, so it was kind of nice. But now
we're trending towards the darkness.
And my streetlight didn't just burn out, but the one 2 houses down did as well. And so it is like very dark.
They installed these all at the same time, probably, so now they're just slowly starting to
probably our whole street is going to be pitch black pretty soon. Yeah. But my question is, should I call them and tell them and ruin my viewing of the stars? Or should I just leave it and be able to see the stars? Because the other problem with how dark it is that my yard is now like prime thief area.
You're full of fear right now.
Yes, because
you're scared of the dark.
I am afraid of the dark. That's a huge, huge factor to this.
Yeah.
I already was like parking our cars so that mine was perfectly under the street light.
Yeah.
And so now it's like there's no light out there. A thief could totally be like, oh, sweet kayaks. And before it was bright out, they would never steal anything from my yard. But now, under the cover of darkness, we'd never see them. They'd come and go.
I think you answered your own question here. You should probably call it in.
I think you're right. Goodbye, Northern Lights. I'll have to drive out to the airport to see you.
Hardest workout of the year came on Saturday, doing a barbecue of all things.
Have you just not used a flipper before and your wrist got a workout?
Yeah, it was very interesting. It's something I wasn't expecting. I wasn't the main griller, but I was helping with the barbecue for the community, for Timberley, for winning the big challenge and contest over on our sister station Cruise 105.
Yeah, Battle of the Neighborhoods. Big congrats to Timberley. We got to help out with that. But you are saying it wasn't just a workout of the wrist. What else were you working out? Standing?
I'm sore today. I was like the sous chef. Is that the partner?
Yes.
Yeah, so I was the homie on the side, just helping out with everything. And one of my main tasks was cheesing up the burgers. Mm-hmm. And the cooler for the cheese was down on the ground beside the barbecue. And so constantly just doing so many squats yesterday. We cooked almost 400 burgers.
Very true. Okay, so you didn't think you could lean down and reach into the cooler. You were like, I'm going to lift with my back. Squat down, squat up.
Yeah, I already have a bad lower back, so there wasn't no leaning over. It was down and up, down and up. And I would say, like, majority of the burgers were cheesed as well. So there might have been like 100 regular and 300 cheesed type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And with the plastic processed cheese, you're like, it was hard to just. I thought about trying to hold a bunch in my hand and then peeling, but then like half the time you're ripping the plastic off and then it just becomes a major struggle. So it had to be like one at a time.
Are you trying to tell me that you squatted down into a cooler, got one piece of cheese, came up, put it on the burger, squatted back down, got another one piece of cheese?
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Sean, oh my gosh, work smarter, not harder. You deserve to be sore. This is ridiculous.
Well, now I'm going to say that my butt looks pretty good and my legs are pretty toned, so I'm sore, but it was worth it.
Okay. Spent the day yesterday cleaning out all of my cupboards. Mm-hmm. And then looking for like expired food or things like that and getting rid of it.
Love a decluttering.
I know, it felt so good. And one of the cupboards that I decluttered was our coffee cupboard.
Yeah.
And it would seem that I didn't realize we were in the habit of this, but like getting to nearly the end of a coffee bag, buying a new one, opening that one, and just kind of throwing the other one to the back of it.
Oh, instead of throwing it out or using the rest?
Yeah, instead of using like the
goodness.
last half pot of coffee
Yeah.
in it. And then as well, also have a habit of trying really hard to support like fair trade hot chocolate companies.
Okay.
And discovering that they're just never as good as Carnation hot chocolate.
Yeah, so you have your whole exotic kind of coffee and hot chocolate bar in your own cupboard here.
In my own cupboard that just, try it once and you're like, whoa, well, that wasn't a winner.
Yeah.
You pay 3 times as much, so of course you're not going to get rid of it or give it away. You're like, one of these days I'll acquire a taste for this fair trade coffee.
Yeah.
Oops, it's expired by 6 years. Okay.
Yeah. So how did yesterday go then? Were you cleaning lots? Were you taste testing lots? Or?
I didn't taste test lots, but I did find that my garbage was very full by the end of it because
The aromas.
I just couldn't believe the dates on these things. I was like, I swear I bought this last week. Oh no. Oh wow, 2016. Okay.
What is the usual expiry date for coffee?
Well, coffee only lasts about a month or so at
What?
Best Buy.
Oh.
Because they want you to like still have the aromas and the coffee oil on it, like they don't want it to be dry. But hot chocolate, I feel like, is usually at least a year or two. But apparently, the expiry date 2016. Does that mean I bought it in 2014? Is it 9 years old, living in my cupboard? Oh my goodness!
I think I have some things to throw out too. Now that you're bringing this up, oh my goodness!
Well, let us know how it goes, please.
New scam making the rounds, and now it's involving group texts on the phone.
My goodness, can people just be good humans? Like, why do we have to talk about another new scam? This is so annoying.
I was intrigued at first too, surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah, so being invited to a brand new group chat with 10 people you don't know is sketchy, so it threw me off. But the context of the text, I was like, if this wasn't so scammy,
Ooh.
I'd maybe look into it.
What are they texting you about?
It was like basically remote work.
Oh.
Paying a ton of money.
Yes, I have gotten one of these too. Group texts, and they say work 30 to 60 minutes a day, get a full salary, right?
Yeah,
Is that
I
what
was
yours
like,
says,
wow, ain't that the life right there? Yeah, it was like 5 days a week, work 60 to 90 minutes, flexible hours and locations, and you could get up to $1,000 a day. I was like, sign me up.
Oh, and that's the problem, is that it sounds way too good to be true, but people are like, but what if it is true? And then they do sign up, and then suddenly they're in loads of debt from their credit card that somebody else spent.
Exactly, yeah. And it was like, just use these apps and tell us how they look and how they work. I was like, that's the easiest thing ever. But then at the end, it's like, okay, to apply, you have to join this WhatsApp group and stuff. I was like, too many check marks here.
Yeah, this is how you download the app onto your phone and allow them to track everything that you do and see your banking keystrokes. And oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that was a hard no. But just a heads up that those scams are going around and it's too good to be true.
The Monday after.
I got to do a quick shout out to Robbie Purple Socks on my golf team on Friday.
Robbie Purple Socks? You, of course, gave him this nickname, didn't you?
No, it was surprisingly the gals behind us.
Oh.
Who called out Robbie Purple Socks, and then it just stuck. Because when a nickname like that is given, you got to just roll with it. So big shout out Robbie. Also, we had Terry on our team, an absolute beauty. And oh my gosh, I forget the other guys. It started with a D.
You didn't-
Dave.
Is there any other name that starts with a D? I guess Donald and Doug.
Dean and Daryl.
in Dallas. And
Pretty sure it was Dave. Shout out to my team on Friday over at the CMHA golf tournament. We had a good time.
all right, I want to give a shout out to Kelly. Met her at the barbecue on Saturday at the Syncrude Athletic Park for Battle of the Neighborhoods. Congrats, Timberly. And Kelly's such a nice lady, and thanks for the restaurant recommendation. Ooh. Yeah, and then also...
Are we doing like a hashtag no free ads? Text in for good restaurants?
Yes, absolutely. Text in and I'll tell you what it is. 780-791-1037. It has been a ton of fun, but it's time for us to get out of here.
And I also just want to say before we get out of here that I am on track to win every single one of my 4 fantasy leagues for football this week. Just pending to see how tonight goes. But I am trending in the right direction for all 4 leagues.
Sean, pride cometh before a fall. You're making me nervous that you're speaking about it before it happens.
Yeah, I know. I'm just putting the good vibes out there.
Okay, good vibes, not jinxy vibes. All right, I see what you're doing there.
That's right. That's manifestation.
Well, we hope your day is looking on the bright side, even if you don't win fantasy football.
Say hi to your dogs for us. Goodbye.
Want more of today's show?
Download the Mixed Mornings and More podcast.
Now available every weekday.